Welcome back to the other side of music. Today we have the pleasure of interviewing Mark Winters. Hi, Mark. How are you?
I'm great, Robin. How you doing?
Good. So I'm looking forward to this interview because your write-up is really interesting. So, your write-up said that you like to combine science and poetry and songwriting. So go to it. What does that all mean?
Yes. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New
Uh,
Year.
yeah. I love all those things. I think I was born with two sides of my brain at war with each other. I love math and I love science. I ultimately studied aerospace engineering for my undergraduate degree, and so I really love physics and applied mathematics. It's like a passion of mine. It's how my brain works. But I also was introduced early in my life, when I was five of all ages, to writing poetry with my grandmother. So somehow my brothers, there were four of us hanging out in her house in East Texas during the summertime. We would sort of run amok everywhere. And I woke up out of this magical spell from her somehow. She ended up luring me into her sewing room, and we were writing poetry together. I was writing about lilies. So I'm like, okay, how did I end up here? It's a very vivid 5-year-old memory of mine. And so she taught me a fundamental love for the arts, painting and poetry. And we've been poetry pals. My beautiful Grammy, Dean C. Winters, has had a great effect on me for the arts. And so I even have the split where I paint and draw and write poetry with my left hand, and I do science and engineering with my right hand when I'm actually doing this. Yeah.
So do you have a poem that you and your Grammy have written that
Ooh, I
you'd like to
hadn't
share?
thought about that. I don't know. I just moved her poetry. I didn't bring it,
Okay.
but I'm happy to send you one. She wrote me the most meaningful one that she wrote for me. Uh, well, that sort of moved me was later. I guess after she started having her eyesight started dimming,
Mhm.
um, and so she wrote me a poem about the the philosophical journey of losing your vision and what other senses that opened up for you. But I'll have to find the actual paper on it because I keep them in a special book to keep them from, getting crumpled or messed up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does that play? So how does the science play into the like songwriting?
Yeah, so I started writing songs late in my life. I really didn't do anything musical until 2011. I picked up a guitar to play a song for my wife for our anniversary,
Mhm.
and taught myself,
Oh,
and was the most amazing emotional journey for me to sing a song to someone else. I just fell in love immediately with with you know that connection that you get.
mhm.
I'd gotten it a little bit writing poems for people, but I'd never really experienced the emotional thickness of singing to someone. And so from there, I taught myself how to write music and read and sing and play guitar and piano. Um, and when I really started thinking about writing my own music, you know, I'd say 2017, 2018, I was playing other people's music and I kept changing the words.
Mhm.
And like, okay. And my wife is a big stickler for staying true and accurate to the song's origin. And so she would harass me a lot about changing lyrics. So I decided to write my own music. And that, as I was learning to express myself, I found my brain living in the same space, the overlap of science and philosophy or poetry, And so, as I wrote uh, songs, uh, like a particular song I wrote about uh, the signal that we put out to each other and the signal that we take in. I think about radio waves emanating from us as a scientist, right? And how that energy affects and reverberates off of the room and the people around you. And I think about, you know, the human being that lives in me and how emotional energy interacts between people. And so this juxtaposition of science and philosophy. Another song I wrote about boundary layers. So I think we all have to overcome our own boundaries in our lives. Some of them we put on ourselves, some of them other people put on us. But in science, in computational fluid dynamics, there's a boundary layer theory where particles that are moving in a fluid, and are approaching another object in the fluid, they enter the boundary layer of the fluid, and it makes them slow down, and it creates forces on them, and it makes them head in a new direction. And so there's a lot of overlap between the science and the philosophy. And so many times when I'm writing a song, I have concepts like that in mind, or sometimes it's just the words I choose to use that have more of a scientific connotation to them when I'm writing about more ordinary things, right? So yeah, it's a blend, it's a mix, So after 2011, I taught myself for a while. I put together a little local band. We did. I just wanted to play one gig with the band. I'd never done it before, and found a bunch of great guys to work with, and we put that band together and played our first show. I'd say maybe 2014 or so, and started playing around town. And nothing, professional or anything, just sort of playing, we played the first show in my friend's garage, the official garage band. And then from there started playing out a little more. In 2018, I put my first album out and started touring behind that. And like everyone else, I put my first song out from it in May. And like everyone else, ended up having, COVID interrupt the project.
Yeah.
And so, sort of coming out on the other side of COVID, I started doing, some more singer-songwriter style shows around town, and really have been, performing in earnest probably since 2022, 2023. Become much more active. I had a very long tour. I had two tours last year. I did one in the spring, going out west, and one in the east in the fall. And have a similar style of tour this year, going out into the west in the fall and the spring. I'm sorry, going out to the east in the spring and the west in the fall. Get it backwards. Going west in the spring and east in the fall. It's the Good Vibes Highway Tour, and just about have all the dates booked for that. And so I've been doing serious performance as a professional since 2023.
What genre do you think you kind of fall into?
Yeah, I would say, there's so many, there's so many genres today. It's mind-boggling, thousands of them. I would say, you know, if you look at for adjacent artists, and that's kind of where my brain starts, you know, John Mayer, Ed Sheeran, Vance Joy, Jason Mraz, those are sort of in my lane as a singer-songwriter. Um, I do play in a trio, and so I have a band that plays with me, and sing harmonies and other things with other folks in the band. Um, I would say folk rock or folk pop, maybe soft rock. would be kind of my category. So I do play some songs on the electric guitar and some songs on the piano, and then most of the songs when I'm out performing though are on my acoustic guitar.
Um, so if you, oh, I think you just answered it. I was going to ask you if you could only play one instrument, that's it for the rest of your life. Would it be acoustic guitar?
I probably, well, I would call my voice an instrument, and I would say I would sing first,
Okay.
right? Because I got to say the thing, and then if I had to accompany my voice with something, yeah, the acoustic guitar. It's where the guitar is where I started actually, and I love the guitar and its ability to express. So yes, guitar for sure.
Okay. Um, and if you could do one thing with your science to change the world and time, money, regulations, all that stuff didn't matter, what would you do?
You know, my goal for my music project in general, when you come to a show with me, my job is to lift the level of positive energy in the room, right? That's what I'm all about. And so, when I was born, I just rolled out of my mama that way. Like, okay, I see the world, I see the positives in the world, I see the positives in people, and that to me is just that's my DNA. And so, if there's something that I could do, uh, you know, to improve the world, to change the world in some way, and I could use, you know, the combination of my science superpowers and my poetry superpowers and my musical mojo, it would be to open people's minds, open their eyes to more of the beauty around them, and to be more appreciative of that. I also would probably have a secondary mission that, uh, I would open their eyes a little bit to science too. Not everybody loves math and science, and it's all around us. And I think, just having a little more curiosity about that can help you understand the world better and potentially yourself, right?
Great. No, I like math and science. If they had robotics and all that stuff when I was in school, I definitely would have been in robot
Yeah.
wars and all that stuff.
Yes, 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 yeah, and everything's changing so rapidly right now. I think the world of AI. I just my newest song is about the conundrum of AI, right? What does it mean to be human anyway, right? I mean, we've got all this AI stuff going on, and robots, and what are we supposed to do? And I think I'm very curious about that, and but it also makes me think about ultimately where it's going and what our role in the world is going to be as human beings as this sort of tech unfolds.
I find AI very interesting. Um, Being that I used to be, well, I guess kind of still am, marketing and advertising forever, I can totally see how AI, like, if you know how to prompt it right, you do not need that social media manager anymore. You don't need, you need like maybe one, maybe two people that know how to use the AI program. But also, I find it interesting that people think you type like two words and you have this massive project done. And that's so not the case. Like, you have to know how to feed it the right prompt, keep revising it without losing what was already there. Like, it's a whole thing, you
Hmm.
know. Um, how do you feel about people using AI to create music? Like, I know someone that created a whole persona
Yeah.
um, and released an entire album all on AI. In fact, the guy is white and his rapper persona is black. Like, it's totally different. And he
Yeah,
just did it for fun. Like, he's not trying to monetize it or anything.
yeah.
He just wanted to see if he could do it. But like, how do you feel about like that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's first of all, I'm very curious, right? What can it do and what can it do? And I'm involved pretty heavily in the Houston Songwriter Association, so the community here in town, and we've had to sort of wrestle with that notion.
Yeah.
When people are, submitting songs for critique from their peers, is it AI generated? Is it not? So I guess I have a couple of opinions. I write music because I have something to say, and so I don't need AI to tell me what I need to talk about or what I need to say. Um, if I need a rhyming word, or if I'm stumped on uh, something like alternative words to say a thing, right? Something I might use a thesaurus for or whatever. If I need that kind of help, then I'm prone to asking AI instead of Google now, right? Or you're looking in a book for that. Um, but I don't know that I need it to help me say something. But it is capable, and Suno and other professional song creation platforms can easily take a prompt, a small prompt, and produce a radio-ready track.
Yeah.
So I think it's out there, and I think it's a part of the world that we live in, and being aware of it, and how to use it to create demos for songs that you've written and other things is super helpful. In my mind, I think it's sort of, artists will start to fall in two camps. People who have something to say and they create original works, and they use AI to supplement that. And then I think people who don't really have something to say, they just want to they want to have a song coming out for some reason. Maybe they have a movie and they're gonna just have the AI write a song for their movie. And maybe that's it's background music and it's not a statement piece. So I think there's plenty of room for everything. And I think the legal landscape is changing also. At the moment, I think, if you've written the melody and the lyric for something, having AI help you with anything else is great, and you have ownership of the song. If you didn't, then potentially you may not have a copyrightable piece. So I don't know. It's interesting. I experiment around with it and I learn. But at the moment, I don't have a shortage of things to say. So I'm happy to write my own stuff.
Guitar with you. Do you have a song ready?
I certainly can play a song for you.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you want a whole song or if you want just a little piece of a song. So tell me how much time we have.
Give us a piece of one of your favorite songs.
Yeah. So I mentioned, being, I mentioned a song called Signal. It's always a good one for me to play. It's a song that's about putting out signals and taking them in.
Okay.
Can you hear my guitar?
Yep.
Yeah. This one's just about being mindful. Waves washing out from me, sending round my energy. Sometimes bright, shimmering, sometimes dark and stifling, crashing into the walls and floors, seeping into your minds and more. Should I keep spewing random feelings? No, I should focus my mind on healing. I'm taking it and putting it out. I should clear up any lingering doubt. So I'm gonna dial in my signal and make it a dream. Make it my positive screen. There you go.
Very good. I
Putting
like
out your
that.
signal.
I
Thank
can
you.
see how it's all uplifty and positive. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Exciting.
for me, for me, writing, writing is just sort of a little window into my head. So most of my songs are positive. I do have a few sadder songs, but they still typically have some kind of a motivational element to them. I'm putting out a song this coming Friday. Um, it's about me trying to process losing one of my brothers, and um, yeah, and it's been a song uh, I didn't want to write because I didn't want to go through the journey that you need to go through to have your mind in a good spot for it. And so um, it's probably the first one that I've written that's coming from a little more position of pain and sorrow, um, but also is helping me process, you know, that loss and get closer to forgiving myself for not being as present and supportive as I could have been. So that's the first one of those that I'm putting out. Most of my songs have been, about happier topics. But I think my friends can encourage me to put it out because a lot of people are going through situations like that, and it might help someone else.
Your song very well could help a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So it's good. Where can we find your songs?
Yeah, so you can find me on most platforms at Mark Winters Music. So all your streaming platforms will have me as Mark Winters. You can find me on social media at Mark Winters Music, or at my website at Mark Winters Music. Yeah.
You are community oriented. What do you what do you do in the community?
Yeah, I love being out and being part of the community. I mentioned I'm part of the Songwriting Association, so that's one of the communities that I'm out in. Um, I I work really hard with the Songwriting Association in the community to build opportunity for artists in the area. We do a lot of work around showcasing and songwriting education. Um, I love to get involved with charities to help create awareness. You write music for their programs, as well as put on benefit concerts for typically food-based programs or literacy-based programs in my area. I'll also be out volunteering myself in food shelters and literacy events around town. I'm involved as well in my church community, and some prison ministry outreach. I've been a performer, for some of the area prisons, uh, which I find, and then sometimes there's other volunteer events around town. I'll try to do when I'm out on tour. I try to do some community events as well, so a food drive or a Toys for Tots or something like that, while I'm out in the communities playing on my tour. Uh, so I have a strong sense of community. I always have, and love people and love collaborating with them to make the world a better place.
And on your website, are your tour dates up? Like uh, where you are going?
Yes, Robin, my tour dates are there. You can find, there's a shows tab on my website, and you can find the shows that I have. Big kickoff show starting the tour March 7th here in town at the Armadillo Palace in
Hmm.
Houston, and then I'm headed west.
Okay. All right. I'll have to check that out when you come east.
Yes,
You
yeah,
start
yeah, that'll be
west.
in the fall. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So what is your favorite food?
Ooh. I'm not really a huge foodie. I kind of eat out of necessity. That
Believe
was
it.
not really a big food person, but I would say I do have and I don't really have a sweet tooth either.
Mhm.
But the one thing that I got from my grandpa is a love for peanut M&Ms, and so
Okay.
I might be known to eat more than I should peanut M&Ms. That's probably my thing.
All right. Um, and if you could have one superpower, what would it be? Okay, well, wait. Let's back up. Would you be a superhero or a villain?
Ooh, Robin, I bet you probably can answer this question for me, but I'm cut from the superhero cloth. I'm like, the defender of the weak and the meek, and I'm gonna be out there sort of making sure that nobody's getting bullied and whatever. Yeah, I'm all about uh, being a positive influence in the world,
Mhm.
and yeah. So I'd be the superhero,
Okay.
um, not the villain, for sure. I'm probably more the from cut from the. I don't know. I'm probably a blend of Captain America and Iron Man. I don't know. I'm kind of
Oh,
quirky and nerdy like Tony Stark, but I'm also like good old all around uh, Boy Scouty kind of like Captain America too. So
okay. All right. And you play at a lot of places, but is there somewhere like the ultimate place you would love to play? And it could be anywhere.
yes, yes. Um, so there's a place called the Red Rock Amphitheater.
Hmm.
It's out in Moab, Utah, and I've discovered a lot of acts just sort of watching them play there on YouTube and whatnot. And I've always wanted to play a show there. It's phenomenal. It's like you're playing a show in Mars. It's like red, you know, uh, red ridges everywhere. It looks like you're on a different planet. It's in this beautiful amphitheater. A lot of amazing people have played there, and a couple of my favorite. Like I discovered the Red Clay Strays there, which is a really amazing band out of Mobile. And when I toured through the West last year in the spring, I drove by it. I was like, okay, someday I'm gonna be here. Y'all look out. So yeah, I'd love to play there.
Okay. Well, maybe soon. You never know.
Yeah, that'd be amazing for sure.
Um, does your Grammy ever help you write songs?
Um, no, you know, uh, I've had the chance to write some songs with family, but not with her. Uh, my grandmother Dean C. Winter, she passed,
Oh,
and
I am
so
so sorry. I didn't realize.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was thinking, yeah. So I wrote a song called "Your Voice,"
Uh-huh.
and it's about her voice throughout my life, but also after she passed, I still hear her voice.
Okay.
She's talking to me, and it's uh, you know, it's something will happen in my life that she normally would have called me or written me a poem or sent me something to
Uh-huh.
help me deal with. And after about six months after she passed, I started hearing her voice like super loud and clear, like it's really her talking to me. And so I'm thinking to answer your question, yes, she's helped me write songs. You know what I mean? She's really
Right.
helped me. She's been there with me while I've been writing, but not nothing that yeah, I wasn't able to write. 'Cause I really, yeah, no, haven't had a chance. But I've written with other family members, which is an amazing and intimate experience.
Yeah, that would be.
Um, yeah, yeah. My wife's mother passed about a year ago, maybe longer than that, and she stayed with us for a while. Um, and she and I wrote a few songs together. Uh, we
Oh,
wrote one that was very humorous. It's called Elevator Man. I was her elevator man. I helped her get up and down the stairs, and so I wrote a song so we could sing together while we were getting up and down the stairs together because it was like a very lengthy process to get from the top to the bottom of the stairs, and I wanted something fun to do.
mhm.
So we wrote that song together. Yeah. So it's amazing when you get a chance to write with your family. I have a daughter and a son, and I've written a song with my son as well, several, and that's a fun experience.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of get everybody involved at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Good. So, is there a piece of advice you've received in your lifetime that has stuck with you?
Um, yeah, I have amazing mentors in my life, and so lots of them come to mind. Um, my grandma, of course, she's got to be the first I have to talk about. Um, she told me, don't make the lines too sharp.
Oh,
So I'm writing poetry with her. I'm painting, and she's a watercolor painter, right? And so, and my grandpa is a pen and ink artist,
okay.
right? And so, as you're thinking about painting, I like to paint birds and dragons and things. So, uh, if you make a living thing too angular, right? It's not real. It doesn't look right. And on top of that, my personality has lots of sharp edges because I'm very competitive and other aspects of my personality that are just super, um, more than they should be. And so it was her way of saying, tone it down, Mark, right? You gotta, so that's a good one that stuck with me for sure. This amazing, uh, a friend of mine, Ken Gaines, he's a big songwriter in the area here. When I was first really getting into the songwriting community and performing, he told me, "Hey, Mark, your friends and family are not your fans."
Yes. Yes.
And what's really weird is, you really want them to be because those are the people that you want to find acceptance from
Hmm.
for art that you create. But they may not like your art. They may like someone else's kind of art. It's like, okay, you have to be okay with that. You have to just sort of, get over yourself and breathe and like, okay, well, maybe my wife doesn't like my music, and that's okay. She likes other kind of music, and but I have people who do resonate with my music, and so you have to kind of get in your own mind that your fans are different than your friends and family.
Yes.
So
Yes. Um, and people start realizing that as they move along,
yeah,
that your family may be there to like support you as a family member, but they won't be there. Kinda. Yeah. So,
yeah, it's different. I write, I perform a lot. It's not a realistic expectation that my kids or my wife comes to every show and hears every song and loves everything that I do, right? Matter of fact, they hear it more than everybody else. So it's like, okay, we need a break, man. Get out on tour, dude.
yeah,
So yeah.
that's funny. And what piece of advice would you give somebody?
Um, in life or in music or
Both.
both. Yeah, I'd say, uh, in life, you know, find the things that give you sustenance and purpose, and embrace those things. Um, I'm a big believer in finding a purpose to have a fulfilling life.
Hmm.
Maybe not an easy life, but a fulfilling life. So find those things. Um, and so I'd say that's probably the biggest thing I would say. And then I would say uh, in music, um, you know uh, get over yourself, right? Everybody's not perfect. Allow yourself to be imperfect. And in your imperfection, I think you find your authentic self, and you're able to share that with people, and people, appreciate that.
I like that. I like that. That's very nice. All right. Well, do you have anything else you would like to add?
Uh, I'd love to see people out on my Positive Vibes Highway Tour.
Okay.
So love to have them out. Um, Love to create some community events along the way. So if anyone from your community would like to connect, and help me create a community event or positive energy while I'm out on tour, I'd really love that.
Okay.
Um, so
Yes.
yes, please,
I'll
please.
include the website. Well, I'll put this up. I'll edit it and put it up and everything in the next couple days and send you all the links. And I'll also make sure to put your website in the description so people can go there. And I'll take a look at your tours, and see, especially the East Coast one where you'll might have an acoustic folk singer that might, something. I'll see where you'll be.
That would be awesome, Robin. I love collabs. I love co-writes. I love, sharing a ticket or a song swap with folks. So please put me in touch. I'd love to learn more.
Yeah, I'll email you. I'll talk to him and then I'll email you his information. He's really cool and real laid back, and yeah, just loves what he does too. So
Yay!
you guys
My
might be
kind
a
of
good
people.
match. Yep, your kind of people for sure. All right. Well, thank you very much for being on. I've enjoyed this. And you're the first person to play a song on any of my podcasts.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you for having me, Robin. It's been great chatting with you, and I appreciate the opportunity to share my story with you and your community.
Great. Thank you. I will talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Okay.